morning to each one. Glad to see all y'all smiling faces this morning. I've enjoyed being here so far. Ask God's blessing on each one of y'all. So I'm a little new at this, so bear with me. but thinking of today, what I wanted to share, I titled it, "Do Small Things Matter?" Do small things matter? That's the title of this. Small things grow into so much more than we ever think. Life's big things are made up of small things. So, if you think about life, if you start breaking it all back down, it all comes down to little things. Do you like pennies? Yeah, you do, but you'd rather have $1, right? Well, you like $1? Well, you do, but you'd rather have 100. It all small things add up to so much big things. Even humans, we come in small packages, and they often are very desirable, and everyone wants to hold you. But when you get big, they're like, you got it, you'll figure it out, like you're on your own. Um, and so is so many things in life. How important are small things? And if I think our everyday lives are so full of them, we just take them for granted. Um, and the things we take for granted may seem small to some, but they can cause big things. I'm going to read some verses here. In 1 Peter 2:2, it says, "As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby." We start with milk, we graduate to meat. Just like babies, we start with milk, we get up, we eat bigger food, we grow bigger, and then we have to mature. And also thought of small things in back when Jesus was on earth. He took 5 loaves and 2 fishes and fed 5,000 people. Only God can do that, but God seems to operate real good when to do real big things when the options seem very small. In Luke 16:10, I guess another thing is, do we have to care about small things? He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, and he that is unjust in the least is also unjust in much. So we got to take care of the little things to know how to take care of big things. And in Luke 16:12 it says, "And if ye have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own?" So what we do with small things in our life that may seem small is a good guide of how we will do things with a lot. A lot of people say that about $400 million would take care of all their problems. But if you would receive that amount of money, now, who says and how would you be able to actually manage that? Also think of another small thing, are ants. A people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer and gather their food in the harvest. It's in Proverbs chapter 30, verse 25. Proverbs 6 also says that they're not, he compares a sluggard and said, go watch the ants. They're a small army in their own little world. To us, they look very small. Here the other day, I set a building for a customer, and there was ant nests all around. And I don't like ants. I've been into their nest too many times, and they don't feel very nice if they get a hold of you. But they're so small, you're like, you don't really look for them. But as I got the building set in, I set this block under the runner, but I seen there was a nest, so I wasn't going to get very close. I set it down there, and immediately the block was engulfed with ants. They were attacking the block. It messed up their space. They were so small, but yet as an army, they come together and was trying to remove that. The block did not hurt them. I'm the one that put it there, but they were attacking that. And I think that same way with our lives. Sometimes we cause other people to do something that may seem insignificant to us, but it causes them damage. And who do they attack? The thing that's hurt. They don't attack always the person that does it to them. Also, another thing Bible says is small is our tongue. Behold, we put bits in horses' mouths, and that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body. Behold also the ships, which though they be so great, and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. The whole thing is there talking about small things, how big a jobs they can do. If you've ever driven a boat and your rudder gives out, you feel pretty helpless. Yes, it seems small, but when it's not there and it don't work, you feel so hopeless. Wind blows you across the lake, you're grabbing for any tree or anchor you can get a hold of. Also, fire. Fire, you can have a nice fire, stay warm in the summertime, in the wintertime. But also, a fire can spread into a forest fire and do a lot of damage, but it only takes a little spark to get it going. Sometimes it takes more than a spark when we actually want a fire, we don't get going. But it is something that's small, but does a lot of good and can do a lot of harm. Every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly, nor or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. Nothing is too small to not be found out. For nothing is in secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Also think of the lost sheep. How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more over that sheep than of the 99, which went not astray. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven, that one of these little ones should perish. Is there anyone that is not worthy of being saved? Every person is worth being saved. And I believe all of us have our one sheep story. We all were one of the 99 that have gone astray. And how beautiful and how comforting it is when he comes and finds us. Some things grow up in between our relationships with each other. May have been just one or two words. But it starts something in our hearts. Forgiveness is a vital part of relationships. Our relationship with God, with our spouses, children, friends, family. Letting something small grow into something big, it costs our relationship with whom it is. Matthew 18. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven like unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants when he had begun to reckon. One was brought unto him which owed him 10,000 talents, but forasmuch as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion, and loosed him, and forgave him the debt. But the same servant went out, and found one of his fellow servants which owed him 100 pence. And he laid hands on him, and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me that thou owest. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet, and besought him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told unto their Lord all that was done. Then this Lord, after that he had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou desiredst me. Shouldst not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee? And his Lord was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. Unforgiveness is a dangerous thing. We need to take care of it. Assumption is also a big one in there. Let's not assume. Let's find out for sure before we start holding grudges towards each other. One guy said one time, start your day by making your bed. It seems insignificant, but if your day doesn't go well, you come home to a made bed. And so I don't know about y'all, but a made bed come home to, it end of the day is comforting. All actions have consequences, some good, some bad. It depends on the action you make. Small things that are done in the dark will be revealed in the light. If you're being selfish, it always hurts someone else, not just you. Things that grow into more than we want or think. Our tongue, we can speak life or death. A rudder that turns a large ship. A spark to start a cozy, warm fire. A smile can make someone feel special, start a chain reaction. Also, being kind is a price all of us can afford. Another thing that we enjoy a lot is food, and depends what for ingredients you put in will change how the food tastes. It can only take a little bit of this or a whole lot of that, but if you put a little bit of the wrong thing in, it will not be good. And I think we can apply that to our lives daily. Like, we will always be feeding on something. Let's make it good. A person's kindness of each day can grow by the influence it has on others. The more things we hide, the more we have to be afraid of being found out. Talking about a person's kindness each day can grow by the influence it has on others. Something I've started recently is on my way out of the house, the last mirror I see, I always smile and give myself a thumbs up. And you'd be surprised what that does to you. Try it. Try it this week and just see what happens. You'll boost yourself, and it's good to be kind to yourself. Also think of the two guys praying in the New Testament there, called a publican and the sinner. One went up to pray a real nice long prayer just to show how good he could pray. The other one was just a simple prayer from the heart. And the one that had a simple prayer from the heart is the one that got the blessing. Another thing we do in our lives is there's two words. It's a small set of words here, 3 letters. But they also say it's often, on that day, it's often described as the best day of our lives, such as small phrase with big commitments and rewards. And so we say, I do. And so marriage has 3 little letters in there, but it's a very big part of our lives. There was a CEO of a company that had a section of his ceiling fall down in his warehouse from the water leak, and he asked his son to clean it up. The son was thinking, this is not a job for me, so he goofed off in other places and did not do it. Later, as the young man walked into the warehouse, he was not ready for what he saw, for his dad got in the wheelbarrow and the shovel and was cleaning it up. And as the dad was cleaning up the mess, he was a businessman. He had a suit, tie, he was dressed to the nines, but he was in there sweating away. And his son come over and was talking to him. He felt bad. He said, let me do it, Dad. And his dad leaned down and told him, he said, son, every job is important. Even if it seems insignificant, every job is important. We sing a little song, says, oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little tongue, what you say. Oh, be careful, little hands, what you do. Oh, be careful, little feet, where you go. Oh, be careful, little heart, whom you trust. Oh, be careful, little mind, what you think. For the Father up above is looking down in love. So be careful. In Luke 23:34, this is a shorter verse, but it has so much meaning in it. It says, as Jesus was on the cross, then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. But if you think about what Jesus went through on the cross and the life that he lived, a perfect life. But as he was hanging there, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You know, that verse has so much love in it. How many things have my sins Jesus paid for? We were talking about the reward earlier this morning. It's the price that's paid. Let's not keep Jesus' relationship small in our lives. Let it grow daily so it's the biggest thing in our lives. There's some, think of people in the Bible that was doing things that they shouldn't have. David and Bathsheba. David should have been at war. He wasn't. He was at home looking at the top of his rooftop, seen a lady, he committed adultery. Also, Ananias and Sapphira, they brought some of the money. Things that seem small that we can get away with sometimes cost our lives. Oak trees, where do they come from? A small acorn. All our seeds, our flowers, the beautiful things, all start from a seed and become something beautiful. Got one more story here I want to read. It says, young Marco couldn't wait to leave his father's house. Every day it was the same routine, and his father constantly critiquing his habits. Turn off that fan. Why is the door open? And so on. Marco dreamed of escaping the endless stream of don't waste so much water, finding his own path. He envisioned a future where he was free to choose his own career, without the pressure to follow in his father's footsteps. One day Marco received an invitation for a job interview, a chance at freedom. He was excited to leave the constant nagging behind. Before he left, his father, in an unexpected moment of wisdom, told him to answer all the questions with confidence, even if he wasn't sure of the answer. He also gave him a generous amount of money, far more than he needed for the interview. Arriving at the interview location, Marco noticed the entrance door was left open, inconveniencing passerby. Annoyed, he closed it. As he walked through the garden, he saw a hose running needlessly, wasting water. Remembering his father's words, he repositioned it to water the plants. Upstairs, he found a welcome mat upside down, and though slightly irritated, he righted it. Inside the large waiting hall, numerous applicants were already present. He noticed several fans running in an empty section of the room. Yet again his father's voice echoed in his mind. He turned them off and sat down. Finally his turn came. Standing nervously before the interviewer, he was surprised to hear his father's voice again. Only one person closed the door, fixed the hose, turned off the lights, straightened the doormat, and shut off the fans. The interviewer said, before concluding, "That person was you. That's why you're hired." In that moment, Marco realized the importance of the lessons he had resented and that the irritation vanished, replaced by gratitude for his father's requirement. Little things we take for granted that aggravate us, if we stop and let it build into something bigger, will bless our lives. It'll become a daily routine of a better life. And I think that's where Jesus comes into our heart. It may seem a little small, but let's not leave him there. Let's continue daily with his word, grow that relationship. And when life happens, we often turn to something. We're feeding something there's a war in our minds, and there's two wolves fighting. And which one will win? It's the one we feed. So let's be careful what we feed, what we turn to. We always turn to something in a crisis, something we're going to reach for something. Is it going to be our phone? Is it going to be our Bible? What's it going to be? Is it going to be? So let's feed the wolf that needs to win. And heard of a guy, he was diagnosed with cancer, extremely awful. And he was just a young man. And every morning he'd get up at 3 a.m. He'd work out, he'd go for a run. At 7 a.m. is when his family woke up. And then as they got ready for school and left, he would just sit alone with his Bible and God from 7 to 7 till his family came back home. He is still alive and well, doing great today. But just sitting there, investing his life with Jesus, I believe God has big plans for it. But it starts, where does it start? It starts with a seed, starts with something small. And I know many of y'all, if you've ever assumed something about someone and then you were way wrong, let's not do that. Let's plant good seeds. Smiles as we go about our day will do way more for other people. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody coming down the road and they're just smiling. You're like, hey, I need to do that. Just the meeting on the road, and they're smiling in their own little world, but have no idea the small but big effect they have on others. I don't know how y'all close here with a word of prayer. Let's close our eyes.